Bam. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show. Having a great day out here. God bless you. 11,690 for Bitcoin. Let's break down price action. That's what you're here for. Let's have some fun. I love you all. Got a cool little box here. Just one quick I want to show you. It says CoinVigilante. Super nice box, actually. Don't mean to be tossing it around, but I want to get into this. Open this puppy up. Look at the presentation. Look at the beautifulness of this. And I'm going to be rocking this watch today on my live stream. You can get this watch from CoinVigilante. This thing is fresh to death, man. That feels great. It's black. It's well made and well priced with the Bitcoin symbol on it. This thing is fresh. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for coming on in. Thank you so much for the headphones from the team. And we're going to break it down for you in a second here. God bless everybody on the live. We love you. We appreciate you. Let's take a look at what's happening here for Bitcoin. I'm going to put on that duck mall. No, not that duck mall, but I wish I could. Shout out to all the beautiful people on the live. Let's break it down, have some fun, and show you what I see happening in the charts. 111,600 is Sammy Long. He is. What's happening? I also have an Ethereum long open here on Weeks. We're down 22 bucks. I didn't know what I was in, but I opened it anyway just to show you that I was willing. It's like going blind. If you open a trade in front of thousands of people, but you don't know if it's up or down, that's like going blind in Texas Hold'em. You know what I mean? Just completely blind. Just, hey, I'm going to see what happens here on Hold'em. So we're moving forward. Things are looking absolutely beautiful. 4,972 would be my target if this thing can rip. All right, a little shy of 5,000. It probably will flow all the way further up into some bigger areas. You know, 5,300, 5,400. Anyway, we got a spike. I got into this trade. This, like, literally a minute later, we got this massive green candle. I thought I was in for the big pump, and I didn't have to. It was going to be so simple. It's never that easy. They brought it right back down, right, and then kind of played games with it, but kept it inside the flag. I'm cool. My stop loss is right here on the 200 moving average, right? Every time that you actually should be right below it. It is right below it, right there. See? Many times they'll use that as a support band, and if it can get higher and higher. See, the point of this is I'm looking for probabilities. I'm looking for this. At first, I'm not even looking to win the trade. I'm looking for this to pull up and for my stop loss to stay cool and calm. Then for price action to bang, right? And then boom. Once the 200 is so far away from the stop loss, we've won the trade, right? We execute away for the 21. We call it a check, please, and we win the trade. So that's what we're looking for here on Ethereum. If you're thinking of trading my style, I trade the 200 moving average over and over again, relentlessly. I only have to win 3 out of 10. I win more than that in some very bullish sentiments. 22 straight I've won publicly, so it's been hot. All right. So we'll see what happens here for Bitcoin and Ethereum. We're going to break down BTC as well and kind of show you what I see happening on a deeper level when it comes to where I see Bitcoin on going into that monthly candle close, because we have a few days left for the monthly candle. Very important we take a look and break it down. Looking at this here, EIPIC, USDT, Epic Chain. I did some research on Epic Chain. I fed it through Grok, and Grok gave me some amazing information. XRP is really taking a liking to this. I gave all that to the trading group. You may want to jump on in for that awesome background information that you just can't get anywhere else. And I'm scouring the internet and super creative at ways to find new coins and ideas. So if you like that, that can't be replicated. It's my own little crazy process of insanity, right? So jump on in, join the trading group. I also am posting my every single thing that I'm doing. We have a weekly screen share every single Thursday night. Very consistent, amazing group of people, and you'll absolutely love it. We even have someone that teaches leverage if you want to get deeper and go to far more other things. There's just so much going on in the trading group. Proper risk management is king there. I see so many people making sure they're taking proper risk management and scolding themselves when they stay off of their models and off of their discipline. So if you want to stay disciplined, hang out with us. If you want to mess around and go back to your old life, then don't hit the link and just, it is what it is. I'm sorry to say it is what it is. But if you want to change your life, you want to do something different, you want to invest in yourself, go to cryptolifer.com. We are here every single day. Let's take a look here at BTC. So this looks good to me for Ethereum. I like what I'm seeing for ETH, and it suggests that there could be, a bit of a move. So this tightness, this consolidation, we call this consolidation in trading, right? It gets tight. Like when things consolidate inside your fridge, right? They get nice and tight, But that's, as funny as that is, it's the similar idea, right? So consolidating like orange juice in the freezer. So anyway, this looks nice to me. I like what I'm seeing. Did anyone have that Minute Maid shake orange juice growing up? I did, Get it out of the freezer, make some concentrated orange juice. Concentrate like orange juice. Get it? Staring at the screen. Anyway, nobody cares about your jokes, Sam. All right, move on. You're not doing a comedy skit. You're here to teach. I know, but I like it. Don't have this conversation with your other self out loud, all right? People will think it's weird. I know, but it's you and me, and there's no one else. I know, but not now. Okay, sorry. Okay, so looking at the daily is looking somewhat interesting. We did get what's called a tweezer bottom, and I was saying, hey, if we get the tweezer bottom, I'm all in, baby. And we went long yesterday on the live stream, and we would have made gains. I put my stop loss at break even. They pinged me at that wick. I'm back in, though, and loving life. And so far, things are going our way here for Bitcoin. And I'm trading live here on MEXC. I got some big trades open. I gave this trade to the group. I said, I like what I'm seeing here. One's up to 270, one's up to 280. Nice $500 day already. And I'm looking to get out somewhere near this 200 moving average. If we can get this continuation pump to the upside, we'll see. We'll see. One is a USD trade on Bitcoin. One is a USDT trade on Bitcoin. You can see. And I have my stop loss right there. Boom, boom, boom. And so far, things are going our way. I can even move my stop loss just a tad, not too much, just a tad, because we are moving slightly up. I will take back some of that risk. I'm looking at the NASDAQ. I made a trade on the NASDAQ this morning. I gave it to the trading group. It's up $152, 5% on the nasty NAS. I just saw something here like a right shoulder, looked like it was going to break out. I entered the trade. It's like I could smell liquidity. We got a pump to the upside. If I closed all trades right now, I'd be up about 500 one, almost 600 on the other one, 700 here. And then I have a week's trade going on Ethereum. And so I'd be up about 770. Wow, look at all the quadruple threes that just ripped. So anyway, I'm long, and maybe they'll wreck me. Who knows? I have stop losses. I know exactly what I can lose today. It's funny. I listened to Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. And he said to me, the funniest thing that really hit me hard, he said, traders have control of not a lot of things when you're trading, right? You don't know how many people are entering the trade. You don't know exactly what's going to happen to the exchange. You don't have control of everything. Let's be honest, right? You don't have control of a lot of things. But the things you do have control of, he's so funny. He says, but things that people do have control of, the traders don't do, And he's like, I'm always fascinated. And so basically what he taught me, thank you. What he taught me, reading Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas, which I really push you to read, and you can get a free audio copy on YouTube. And it can get read to you by, a great narration. And you better put in the next, the 20 hours, whatever it takes to listen to that entire book, because it'll change your life. It'll change the way you looked at all your trades. It'll help you in the way you maneuver. And even if you don't think so, your subconscious mind will slowly grow after listening to that book. I'm telling you right now, but you do whatever you want. But see, you're losing. People that are winning right now, you're doing great. You have a good strategy. God bless you, right? You've listened. You've got discipline. You can still struggle, and when you don't do what you're supposed to do, you could still take a hit. Everybody here knows that 100%. The people that keep losing, I'm talking to you, the people that are struggling, the people that are just having an issue, just can't seem to get it together. It's because you haven't decided to pick a model yet. It doesn't mean you're a bad trader. You're just sitting, like we've all been to a fast food restaurant, or, maybe even Five Guys, whatever you want to say, and you've been up there looking at the menu, okay? And you've been deciding what you want to eat. Now, have you ever sat there and not known what you want to eat? You've been so hungry, you just can't. You want the chicken sandwich, but then you want the burger, but then you want jalapenos, but then you want but no, you don't want. You want BBQ sauce. Yeah, no, you want the smoky burger. Do you want a double? Or do you want the double with the cheesy fries? No, I want the cheesy fries. I'm making a joke, but the whole point is we all sit there, and until we decide, we can't order, okay? So that's all that's happening to you. It's not a big deal. You're not a horrible trader. You just haven't picked a model yet. Okay? Once you pick a model and start hammering a model, you're going to have so much more fun trading. It's going to free your mind. You're going to do the same thing over and over again. Some days it will be boring. Some days it will be the same story over and over again. But you know what? At the end of the month, when you look back and realize that you stuck to your plan, you're going to feel damn good about it. Even if you had a monthly loss or a week, even if you're up or down, as long as you stick to your model. And again, you'll see, I believe this because it's happened to me, even in desperation where it looks like I've lost maybe 4 or 5 trades, things are struggling. I'm just like, dang. I take that final trade with my model and I'm like, man, if I hit this one, And it did. And, you know, as long as I stick to the probability, because it's hard to do 3 out of 10. Most people can't do 4 out of 10. Most people can't win 4 out of 10 trades. If they lose 3, they're done. They're cooked. Then you win 1, right? Then you lose 2 more. Then you win 1. Then you win 3. Then you win 1, right? Then you win 2. Then you win 3. In a horrible time, it could be tough, right? So this is kind of the reworkings. So eventually, you get to a place where you've done your model so many times, you start actually getting success. You actually see that you win. Like, I can use my model publicly, and yes, I don't win every day, but dang well, most of the time, I know I'm going to win. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm pretty confident to use it, and it's not even about me. It's about, you know, so you got to find a model. So if you keep losing, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up. It doesn't mean you're the worst trader in the world. You just haven't decided to pick. I was really good at technical analysis, and I was a good, you know, I got to understand a lot. But I didn't pick a model, so I didn't know what was going on, everybody. And I struggled because my emotions were always the model. When your emotions become the model, you're going to struggle. You're going to be in a tough spot. It's not going to be a good sign, okay? But we can help you correct that at CryptoLifer.com. Even here for free, I always tell people you don't even have to join my trading group. I'm here every single day, and I want you to learn. I want you to change. I want you to see things differently, and I know I can help you. I know I can show you the way. So shout out to all my beautiful people here that are sharing the experience with me. Bitcoin booming to the upside. MEXC trades ripping. We got 376 here, 289, 400. There we go, flipping them. We got BTC.C. We got BitDNX back in action. And the 3-minute chart is showing signs. That is a 3-minute scalp right there, which tells me that I could take a long there. Do I dare, right? I'm a little late to the party, though, on there, but the stochastics are still in a good spot. I'll swing my stop below the 200 there. Try to get somewhere to that 114. I'm going to show you what I see happening. And again, this was high risk because I'm already up on other trades, and I know if I even lose it, it's not too big of a deal. So don't stress it, you know. Please don't do what you see other people do online unless you know exactly what you're doing. I'm touching the 21. The flag had already broken out. I'm basically buying the breakout. It's late sauce here. But nice pump to 112,000. Now we got to get to 112.5 and break through. That's going to be the big deal. 112,500 is going to be the area we must blast through for Bitcoin. That's really going to be it. Oh, that's the boat I got my eye on, right? Skyfall, baby. Probably be something newer, though, by the time I really desire it. But right now, it's kind of fulfilling the manifestation, okay? So it's on my desktop every day, Skyfall. And I look at it all the time, every single day. It's on all 6 screens. $27 million right now sitting in Miami for sale, Skyfall, right? A waste of money, really, because I'm an entrepreneur. It's like I could do so many better things with that money, which is kind of, you know, like buy land and grow fruit, turn it into a business, turn it into $1 billion fruit company or something. I'm ready to kind of go all the way with it. But so Ethereum broke out, came back down, still trying to break out. I like what I'm seeing. I'm staying long as we're above the 200 and the 21s are touching. I stick to my models. I don't switch it up. I don't change it up one day and do something different the next. That's just not my thing. Tomorrow at 8:30, we will have to prepare for Forex Factory. Things are coming our way. If you want to kind of jump on in with me and deep dive here on Thursday morning at 8:30, we have unemployment claims, preliminary GDP, price index quarter over quarter coming at us. So that will have an effect on the market for sure. Bitcoin, nice rippage to the upside. We see there's a nice red area to it, 112,250. And the short squeeze is on for Bitcoin. And we're starting to get a nice move here to the upside. Trades are abundantly pumping. And everything is kind of going our way. There's a $1,000 win right there on the day. I kind of like it. You know, everyone's greedy for more. But, I mean, man, we pump up to the 200. I mean, we got resistance right here. I feel like we'll come into some resistance. This is good money. Pay the trader, take my 1,000 here and call it a day. Leave my ETH trade open and go from there. You see what I'm saying? Let me take a look at the smaller time frames and see what I'm seeing. Give me some, yeah, see away from that's going to come back down. That was a nice rippage. I'm going to pay the trader here. And I'll show you what you can do. You go quantity here. You go all the way here to 100. You go to price. You go to last and you hit close long. All right. That should be a limit order and not a market order, if I'm correct. I could be wrong. I'm going to take my money. Why am I selling right now if it looks like we could pump more? I don't know. I like to sell it to the green. That's a nice $1,000. It only took me, I don't know, about an hour to make, less than that. So boom, Bitcoin. And that's how you pay the trader for the day. You don't have to get into every single trade. You don't have to take every trade to the upside. The key is to pay the trader. Yeah, we have some big news here today coming into the market too. Kronos jumps 40% on Trump media strategy news. Kronos, the native cryptocurrency of the Crypto.com backed Kronos chain, surged to multi-year highs following news of the Trump media strategy launch. Trump Media and Technology Group announced launching a joint $6.4 billion Kronos treasury with Crypto.com and Yorkville acquisition. Kronos surged 25% to 20 cents within hours after the announcement before climbing past 20 on Wednesday, its highest since May of 2022. And you know what's interesting is if you were in my trading group and watching, we had massive, we had such a beautiful, oh man, look at the spike for Bitcoin, right? But you know it was going. It was on the way. So let's take a look at what's happening to the Bit2Next trade ripping. That's also going to pay the trader here. Why not? Ooh. Move the stop loss into I'd like to take at least $100. And then we could trade the next flag on the 1 minute if I so desire. You would see price action go up to the 200 moving average. It stinks to sell and miss a spike like that immediately, I'll be honest, but it is what it is. I'm super hyped that I made my gains today. I'm going for $1,000 a day before 12 o'clock, and then I go for my afternoon session and then my night session. If I can make $1,000 in each session, $3,000 a day, I mean, that's a beautiful day. So morning session, checked off, right? We made the gains. And this beautiful watch, if you're checking it out, it's by CoinVigilante. It's really pretty. It's got an orange bee in it. It's black. I like it. He also has all sorts of other stuff. If you want to take the link and check it out, pretty awesome. And pre-orders are open too right here, right? CoinVigilante. And he was at the Bitcoin conference, had all different types of watches. And take a look at them. They're really pretty. This one's sick too. He's got this Moon Man one. He's got a lot of different ones that are really sick. And, they represent your love for Bitcoin. So check them out at CoinVigilante.com. And there's a link below. If you use my link, obviously you get a discount. So check that out. Bitcoin booming. And the daily starting to make a bigger move to the upside. I like what I'm seeing here on the daily for Bitcoin. A nice pump. Daily looks like it's ready to rock. So let's take a look at our bigger time frame for Bitcoin. And yes, looks like yesterday we may have called the bottom to give us the bigger pump to the upside. Now, when I call the bottom, it means we can now trade the trend to the upside. In and out, in and out, in and out. I'm going to swing 2-day swings because it looks like we could make one of these. A shoulder ahead. We might pump, have another little pullback, and then get the bigger move out of here. No guarantees. It also could just break out of the falling wedge, which would be really nice, and not have to, or make the right shoulder even outside of the wedge, which would still be, even more bullish. Let's take a look at the monthly candles and break it down. So right now, the monthly candle to me still would close pretty red. I would like this thing to boom. I would like for us to basically go to an all-time high by the end of the month. Structure-wise, it would make sense. Closing tweezer tops on the monthly for me could, I would have caution for that. That would tell me to be careful that we could be dumping. So I don't mean to be the bearer of bears news. Just when Bitcoin's pumping and everything looks great, and the 112.5 is that key area. Remember, heavy resistance. We break through 112.5. We can really, really begin to move here further to the upside. So now we're booming. 112,600 and the Bit2Next trade is ripping to the upside. Shout out to anyone who got affected by Bit2Next. It just said overwhelming group of people. They wanted to make sure everything was fine. Sad to say they should have been a little better about how they did it. Servers did go down at one point, but all funds were snafu. It had nothing to do with funds. It was everything to do with the internet. It was an internet server issue, nothing to do with funds. Funds were safe and withdrawable on chain. So they will compensate. It will work out in our favor, 200%. So whatever happened, they'll see, and they'll make sure anyone under my link is all right. We started a Telegram group there too, and it's inside my group, so you can hit that and find out more, all right? We gave you the trade for Kronos, and we're going to talk about that in a second and break it down. And we already told you why Kronos is ripping, the big Trump connection there to Trump Media Group. And that's giving it a nice push to the upside this morning. And so show me the news and I'll show you the charts. No. Show me the charts and I'll show you the news. And yeah. So anyway, I would not like to see the monthly close like this. It almost tells me we have to get a massive surge. And that would have to happen in the next 4 days. So in 4 days, Bitcoin's going to rip to 125K. Otherwise, it's going to close a bearish tweezer top of the monthly. It could defy it. Anything is possible, but I just got to tell you the facts. I mean, that's not amazing. We do have a beautiful resistance here at 109,000. We've wicked off of it. That shows strength. We could even consolidate here and then build bigger, build back better. Let's take a look here at the weekly. And to me, the weekly has still fallen out of the falling wedge, you know. Yes, it's holding support or resistance, but it has a major resistance there too at 114K. It's got to get back above there to remain bullish. And then we see that we have, 119,000. So I would love a push up. Isn't that amazing if it just rips back to 123s at one, in here, closes the candle? Would be unlikely, but would be awesome. For Bitcoin, anything is likely though. The most unlikely thing is the most likely thing for Bitcoin. That's what's crazy, right? That's why we love crypto. The most unlikely is the most likely, right? It's the most predictable because it's so unpredictable, but it's predictably unpredictable. Cryptocurrency constantly is always going different ways all the time. So major resistance here at 114,000. The volatility is beautiful, right? We get swings, we get buildups. You can, like my model plays out over and over again because they keep bringing it up and down. Look, a lot of people chased 12.5, right? If you chase 12.5, you're now not in the money anymore. So just want to make that clear. I take my money here too on Bitfinex. Why not? If I'm already up $1,000, what do I need to, I'll go for a better scalp if we do make a flag here. We make a flag, I'll take this scalp here. And bang, the Ethereum trade doing its thing. Shout out to anyone that took the Ether trade. And we want to hold this puppy for a while. This one, we want to make a couple racks on. Probably will even extend the take profit here as we continue to grow. So shout out to anyone that did jump into the ETH trade, is in the green. I'm the king of 3%. It's already up 5%. We'll see what happens here with the lifers. Shout out to crypto lifers and all the people out here that have dedicated their life to crypto. My dear friend, a crypto YouTuber, Space Chick, crypto passed 1 year ago. A gem of the space. Please send your prayers, guys. God bless. It's got a crypto. You were one of the people that put the question mark. What was the question mark all about? Well, you guys messing with me, man. I love you, bro. We're going to punch. I watch everybody. I study everything like a lurker. I'm a creepy lurker, man. Shout out to Armenian friends. Shout out to everybody here. Rocket Man and Sammy are the type of guys who thought a bean dip. Was it Amigo jumping in the pool? Ooh, I don't know. Like and subscribe, people. Shout out to everybody here. 1 year in the crypto land. Shout out to Armenian friend. God bless you. Jennifer Moffitt. Nick FLP in the house. Vegas Claw. Christian Michelet. And all the awesome people here on the live. Thank you for being here and kicking it with the lifers. So let's keep it moving. I'd like to see us. So, and what I am seeing, though, on the weekly is a possible ascending triangle being built. We build this ascending triangle. We define the devil, the devil wicks here. And we get all the way up there to about $145,000. If Bitcoin does that one last push, you see what I'm saying? I mean, boom. Now, we remember there is the rising wedge, though, and the rising wedge has a measured move as well. And so if we break out of a rising wedge, it's suggesting we go somewhere to $181,000 BTC. So no guarantees, but it just kind of starts saying that there's going to be some type of move, consolidation, and another push-up. That says the top would be somewhere by November. You could get there by November 24th, which is crazy. Somewhere around Thanksgiving, pumpgiving, baby. So we'll see. Only time will tell here for Bitcoin. I know nothing. I want to make it really clear. I know nothing. I don't know where Bitcoin's going to go. And everyone's like, what did you just say? But I have no idea. You see what I'm saying? I have no idea where Bitcoin's going. I believe over time they're going to continue to print money to zero. So I believe if you hold Bitcoin, and this is a belief, nothing to do with, you know what I mean? Because you're not supposed to say what you believe when it comes to trading. But what I believe is that they will continue to print money to zero because I studied it and I believe history. And history has taught me that that's what happens. And they'll print the money to zero, okay? And then when they print the money to zero, what will happen is Bitcoin will continue to go up in value. So I believe simply by 8-year-old math, supply and demand, that they're going to continue to add more dollars to circulation and less Bitcoin to circulation. And that ratio will convey in a higher price in Bitcoin in US dollars. Amen. Which will allow you to borrow and trade against your Bitcoin for more value in the market and for things of more value every single 4 to 5 years after the halving, and maybe not every 2 years because it could be lower than it was a year, you know. But Bitcoin's a 4-year game, even a 6-year game. Because if you hold Bitcoin 6 years, you're bound to overlap a down period inside of a random, you know, a dump inside of a halving. So a 6-year period for Bitcoin is almost a shoo-in for a win, depending, right? I feel like if you go to Bitcoin in the last 6 years, it's never been down. So I like what I'm seeing here. So we just made a live trade. If you're jumping on in, I just sold Bitcoin live in front of everybody at around, I don't know, I sold 112,180, 200, right? And it went higher. Went to like 6 or 7, and I would have made a little more, and I looked like, oh, he sold early. Now it's kind of struggling at about 12,270. We're going to take a look at what's going on and find out if there's more to be had here for Bitcoin. Just in, Bitcoin is skipping the bear market. Shout out to Richie. TA cannot predict those whales selling. Yes, it can. 100% it can. Show me the charts and I'll show you the news. Somehow, some way it can, man. I don't know how. It really can. Or at least give you a higher probability of what's happening. Yeah, Kitten Coin continues to pump. I've been on it as well. And you'll see I've already been looking at it this morning. MEOW. $3.3 million market cap and getting somewhat tight. Getting a lot of love there on X. Again, if you're a degen like me, you learned about it last night. I saw it here, was about to get in, but I had wet pants. I didn't get in. You know what I mean? I peed my pants and I didn't. Sorry, no, it's not right. But you know what I'm saying? Like and there it goes. Now, there's a chance this thing continues to moon, and it's still very early. But this is a meme, and be very careful. High risk, high reward, but it also could go absolutely to zero. So I have no clue. I don't own any. I don't know anything about the people. I've seen a couple tweets. I think Superman or so. A couple people talked about it, but that's about it. Little bitty Bitcoin, baby. Yeah, looking fantastic in the dark suits. Heavy. Shout out to Ron Delgado. God bless you. Thank you so much for being here. God bless, brother. Okay. If you want to understand Friend of Zero, just research every fiat currency 100%. Shout out to God is Love in the house. Thank you so much. Sammy, can you take a look at Towns? Yeah, Towns has been on the radar. Keeps coming out there. Let's take a look at Towns. When I finish my Bitcoin update, we will get into Towns. Funny, my Siri opened up Towns. So shady. I never said Siri. Maybe he said when I see the Bitcoin update, it thought I said Siri. Something weird, right? Next thing I look at my phone, it's got Towns. They're watching. Always. Seriously, though. So take a look here. We live in the Matrix. They're always watching us. It's like kind of creepy. The Big Brother is on you, man. Big Brother iPhone is on you. And we invited him right in. It's kind of creepy, right? It's all legal fine print right there. So we're looking for this falling wedge in the 3-day chart to break back to the upside. We're looking for this to close tweezer bottoms tomorrow night. So tomorrow night, that's Thursday night, a very important 3-day candle close will be upon us. It'll give us great confirmation. The daily, I'd like to see this daily candle close green. I like confirmation of the tweezer bottom. Let's get it. Bitcoin breaking back down if you chase the highs. So now people that saw me sell are probably below my sell. Now they're like, dang, he's smarter than I thought. I sold into the pump. Agreed? Agreed. Selling into the pump is how you win. Ethereum doing better than Bitcoin in this just local pullback. So far, so good. Bitcoin back below 112,000. And so, you know, I wanted to see that thing absolutely moon. We'll get back into possibly another place to scalp. Shout out to anybody here who did jump into Bitcoin. Sam, in your experience, when bear market gets here, you start shorting the market 100%. Well, you'll be shorting the market, yeah. And there's also the bear market produces many a long. People seem to forget that it doesn't go straight down, just like a bull market produces many a short, right? There's been many chances to short. Could have shorted many, you know, look at this. You could have shorted this beautifully. That was a good short. This was a good short. That top, if you just shorted every time Bitcoin hit an all-time high and kind of ran up away from the 21. I have all the data that backs it up to do it. I just don't do it enough. I should start shorting more often, but bang. I also, when I don't short though, I get really, really ready for reversals. You know? Wow, look how quick Ethereum trade kind of switched it up on me. I'm going to cover there. I don't, you know, I'm a day trader. I'm mostly a day trade swing trader. So I'm going to go home up today on the day. I don't want to have to like really stress this, you know. What's my final risk? I risk like maybe 200 below the wick here. But that looks bearish to me, struggling. And I can get in at a cleaner entry. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. How's the 1 hour looking? 1 hour looks okay to me, but it's just kind of somewhat sideways. One hour looks somewhat decent. I'm going to take a chill pill on the 1 hour there, but yeah. This is a bot. This bot trades for me on Bitcoin. And it does its thing beautifully. It's pretty awesome what it does. It buys many of the bottom and many of the and sells the top. Last time the bot was here on the 15-minute, it was grinding it out. It bought here, you can see, and then it sold right there. It bought this bottom here, and recently just bought this dip right there. And it's actually in the money on that buy, and we'll see. It gets back to here into profit at 117,000. The bot bought here, and it eventually unloaded in this area for a hefty win. So the bot does amazing. It likes to mitigate itself, which means it buys bigger positions as price goes down. And it just seems to know when to get in. It's pretty awesome. So the power law and all these other things, if you want access to that bot, it's MINOTAUR Trading Systems. It's right here, and you can schedule a free call with their team. They'll sit you down. They'll explain it. It is high value, and I do get a commission. Find out more about MINOTAUR Trading Systems today, okay? And you can even watch these videos where I interact with the team. They're in Vegas, my man. And the whole team is pretty cool, man. So check them out, MINOTAUR Trading Systems. And, you know, I was very reluctant about bots. Didn't want to touch them. Thought they were strange. Eventually started with 10,000, 20,000. Now I have 160 grand in a bot, and I just can't believe that. And so if I could do it, I believe you can do it. And it's been working for me, safe and secure. No issues. They don't have access to your funds at all. You just apply the proprietary algo on top of whatever you're trading. All right. You get 10 a.m. reversal to the upside now. Yeah, I'm 51% certain Bitcoin is going to dump. That's funny. I don't know what that means. A large part of the increase in Bitcoin, gold, and silver price is actually just the dollar losing value, 100%. 100%. But that perceived value makes you able to then, you know, use it to get better goods and service. Like a house that's $1 million, eventually 1 Bitcoin, right? It's going to be pretty crazy, but soon you'll be able to buy a Bitcoin with one home. One home with 1 Bitcoin. It's going to be pretty intense as the world starts to see what happened to Bitcoin and it really grows into fruition. I said 100,000 for years. I call $1 million now for a long time as well. And to me, it only seems it's only a matter of time. So, shout out to everybody here on the stream. May we get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. 100,000 subscribers and growing, and I greatly, greatly thank everyone for helping me out. It's each and every one of you that made it happen. Boom, Bitcoin bouncing off that 11.8 back to the upside. Let's take a look here. Nice little bounce. Could it make an inverted head and shoulder? That's why it's okay to sell. Everyone's so afraid to sell. They're in a trade and they just can't pay the trader. It's going to go up higher. I'm up 1,000, but I want to make 2,000. What's wrong with 1,000? You know what I mean? The reason why most people lose trades is because they don't do what I just did. They cannot hit the sell button. I hit the sell button once a day, a few times a day. A lot of times. Many people cannot do that. They're not in the habit of hitting the sell button. They haven't made a habit of it. You're going to do whatever you make a habit of doing as a trader. So if you keep doing something over and over again, that will be your habit. That's it. So the more you sell, and so I encourage people to have like a dummy account that they really like that they use as a sell account. You know what I mean? So they have their other accounts that they can't let go and these trades that they're in love with. I get it. And they're obsessed and they can't break that. And it's hard to just out of nowhere change an old habit. So what you do is you open up a new account with smaller amounts and you even call it the sell account. And you pay the trader on that account more often than not. And what you do is you get into everything you get better at is from doing it. So if you lift weights, you get better at lifting weights. All right? A guy that looks at a carburetor every single day, what is going to happen? He's going to get pretty dang good at fixing carburetors, isn't he? I agree. If you sit with me in my trading group every day and you go over the stuff that I teach you, you're going to understand trading pretty dang good. You're going to become a technical analysis master because you're going to hang out with people. That's all we do for 7 days a week. I do technical analysis. That's all I do over and over and over again. Why is that slanting? Interesting. Anyway, so that's just, and again, I was listening to Jim Rohn today. Successful people leave clues. Successful people do the same things. They start their day off early and they start their day with like mental clarity and with like a positive affirmation. Your thoughts are what you believe about yourself. Your thoughts and your questions that you ask every day manifest who you are. If you're like, oh, I suck, I'm not that good at these things. You're putting yourself down. You're like, I'm not meant for greatness. I was never meant to be a successful guy. Oh yeah, that's not for me. That's for the rich. Or whatever you say to yourself, like I used to say, to be able to allow yourself a regular life. And Jim Rohn said enough was enough. Like, do you want to stop it, Sam, or do you want to go after it? I said, I would like to go after it, Jim. He said, then Sam, first step is waking up in the morning and talking positively to yourself, Sam, so you can have positive thoughts and affirmations. Then your thoughts will be filled, and that's where your life will go, and that's who you'll become. I said, Jim, man, you're on it. He said, Sam, this is what successful people do. It's very simple. If you think like successful people and have thoughts like successful people, you'll be successful. It's simple. I said, man, Jim, I'm going to start thinking like a successful person. He said, you've got it, Sam. Before you know it, and this didn't really happen. This was a conversation in my mind. You see what I'm saying? Because Jim was dead at the time, but I had no one else to talk to, so I made Jim up. But I watched him every day. So when I asked him questions, I knew what he was going to say. You see what I'm saying? It didn't hurt that my dad's name was Jim as well. So falling wedges break to the upside on the daily, and we're oversold the stochastics, RSI. And we have this bullish divergence. It tells me there's going to be some type of pump here to the upside. Someone could front run this punch and put a stop loss right there. We got in right there early bird too, so that if you got in yesterday, you could still be in that trade and riding it out to the upside. As you can see, I go in and out a lot more. But that's me. Not everybody could do that, and I get it. So you do what you want, right? So I'd be looking for this falling wedge to break up. I want to get back inside the pattern, and then we'll get rid of the projection for now because it's a little confusing. But that is the weekly possible ascending triangle that could be forming if we get this bounce back to the upside. This could make kind of some type of inverted head and shoulder here that could propel us higher. So right now, we're looking for the shorts to get absolutely rocked and wrecked. We're going to take a look at BOOKMAP. Link in the description to BOOKMAP. If you'd like to get down, you can use my link to get an awesome price. Right here, you can see 113,240 is a key area that we're looking at for Bitcoin. So it's looking like we may liquidate 113,000. This shows me the biggest area of liquidations that are on the board. And 9 out of 10 times, we're going to hit that key area. So there's a good chance we do go up to 113,000 before anything else. Like that's the first order of business. We do still see 108 though, and we're not out the gate just yet. So we shall see. Only time will tell. Back to the ETH trade, only up $64 now, struggling. So we're seeing some up and down price action yet again. No big follow through like we've seen in the past, but we did get the pump away from the 21. Had to come back to it. I'm hovering with my stop right below the 200 moving average on the 5-minute time frame. Bang. The nasty NASDAQ up 149 in the trade. I'm looking for this thing to absolutely rip and go to 24,186. That would be awesome. It means we may come back down to the back to entry. This may go sideways a few times. And shout out to everyone on BTCC where you could trade the nasty NAS. And it's been a while, right? We waited for the NASDAQ. We got this bigger pump, sideways price action. I was trading Bitcoin and ETH on this day instead of the NASDAQ. And now I look for this consolidation. And it tells me that we may be ready for that nice reversal that I've been talking about on my macro technical analysis video I put out every single Friday. Please watch that. We go over Bitcoin. We go over the technical analysis on the NASDAQ, S&P, on gold, right? On all sorts of assets that'll blow your mind. Total 3, Bitcoin dominance, US Tether dominance, the DXY. And so that is the video to watch every single Friday afternoon. It will really set you straight for the week ahead. Please look at GoPro. And shout out to my man. Thank you, George Wingard. GoPro's in the dumps, the last I heard of it. And we'll finish up with our Bitcoin update. So 22-hour, I like to look at getting above the 200 moving average. The 12-hour, if the 12-hour closes above the 200, we can get ourselves a nice pump to the upside. 8-hour wants to get back above the 200. Same with the 4-hour. And it brings me to the 1. I saw a pump today on the 1-hour time frame. I took advantage of it. When it got extended, I sold. We were waiting for the 21. We go from there. I executed a trade today. In here, out there, call it a day. It took a few hours. I got in around 8 in the morning, right? So it took about almost 2.5 hours to make the trade. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. Maybe even, wait. Yeah, 8 in the morning right there. But oh yeah, the wick was lower, so I got in right around there. Boom. I was about to say, because I was like, I got in somewhere in this area, but how? I was like, I had the wick. So, Bitcoin. Possible inverted head and shoulder here on the 1-hour. That could do damage, right, and get us back in action. So it's not over just yet. I like what we're seeing. We're above the 21. Starting to get the curvature. And it brings me to the 15. 15-minute looks like we may be getting a coup to handle, right? So let's take a look at this here. We have a point of control. We have some nice resistance at 111,006. Sorry, hitting G instead of H there. Come back down. Maybe we pull a fibby. Local fib back to 11.5. We bounce and continue. Get back above resistance. So I like what I'm seeing here on the 15. It just says we might have an hour or two of consolidation before we know exactly what Bitcoin's going to do. So look for Bitcoin to find a range here now. Above the support at 11.6, but below the resistance at 12.5. And find kind of a tighter consolidation that could possibly break it further up into the $113,000 level. All right. It's not overly bullish. There is a possibility, look, a double top here and resistance. A bit of cat ears that Bitcoin could dump somewhere back down to here off of an M pattern. Back to the bottom liquidity at 109,000. And then from there, maybe lower lows. So I'm not completely convinced that Bitcoin's overly bullish just yet. I'd like to see this next daily candle close green. We did get the tweezer bottom. We had 50% of the confirmation, or 60%, I would say. But bang. It's strange. Ever since I was a little boy, I knew I would always be successful. I didn't even know what optimism was. When I learned the word, I said, hey, that's me. 100%, man. I was like 7, 8 years old, and I was like, man, something big's going to happen to me. I'm going to travel the world, and you know what I mean? But I mean, I thought every kid thought like that. I'm going to be an astronaut. I'm going to be... But just a lot of people believe at the beginning. But, you know, the thing between, you know, a lot of people believe that like me and you did. A lot of people don't talk about it now. You know why? Because they didn't live that life. And so bringing that up is painful. But see, what you did is you kept living that life. You never stopped believing that. You still believe it to this day. You know what I'm saying? So there's just so much about your mindset that you've curated over time that has created his success. Like, so this man is teaching you the lessons of life right there in that comment, which is pretty interesting. I got so much out of that. Unbelievable. Let's take a look at what's happening to Crow, baby Crow. And Kronos getting that Moon City to the upside. And it's weird because I'm like, hold on. I know I had a crow. Let's take a look here at crow. Because people asked me about it. It looked like it was going to 123. Right? I'm just searching the Discord. 86. I would have sworn we had an updates on crow when we went over crow all week long. Anyway, crow mooning. And we did go over crow, though. Let me see. Just usually I look at... Just want to see where I was looking at it. Maybe I did the Coinbase? No. So crazy. Anyway, someone asked us about crow last week. Sean, could you pull up any timestamp you have on crow? Anyway, big news for crow. It bounces beautifully. Basically doubles up in a day or two. Absolutely bananas. Oh, it's a big news pump. All right. It's away from the 21-day moving average. And there, boom. So to me, I would be taking profits on a swing trade, or if I was in some type of lever trade. It's just it's unsustainable. It's away from the 21-day moving average. Big news, big move. One of the biggest gainers for crow. But what it does do is it gets above resistance here. Tells you that it probably has to come back and retest probably 20 cents, maybe a wick lower, just to kind of get the liquidations out the water. And then, yeah. Now, if there's more juice in the tank, what we could do is just kind of start to flag out the 1 hour time frame. If the 1 hour starts to get busy, then there's a chance we could find an entry. Next target looks like it would be at that resistance at 48. Right? Also fix phones and computers when I can't physically turn wrench from being destroyed. God bless you, Mr. Flawless. RECC. And that was on... Wow, I mean, this looks bullish. MEOW looks like it may break out. But you do your own research. It's running through the internet pretty strong. It makes it to the stream because it's kind of growing, right? Oh yeah, last time we looked at it was this little flag. It definitely dipped, went sideways, but then pumped nicely to the upside there. Still a very small market cap. But, anything is possible. It did make a bit of a flag here. Seems like it's moving pretty strong with the market. Is Ethereum getting a move now? Ethereum's attempting a bullish retest, but it's messy right now. We can redraw some of it. Make it more of like a lateral ascending triangle here. We'll show you what I mean right now. I'll delete all my old work to make this very simple. My stop loss is in the way, so I'll just go do this on another chart. But something like this, Almost feel like it did a fake out, breakout, but it's still maintaining an overall 90% form of the ascending triangle. Sideways for a little bit more to the 27th to get a big pump. Stay above that 200 moving average. Keep me going. We'll see for Ethereum. But when you win your trades, it's easier to stay in your other trades too because you've already won a trade. You see, so taking profits helps in many ways, psychologically and for the rest of your day. Sammy, what happened to Pepe at 17? I got rid of Crow last cycle. Can you look at Biddy? Mastering the trading life or showing the future of probability. Just check my average on Crow. Sammy looks like Hitman Vampire with a black Lincoln Town Car. And Matt, you're funny. Can Crow get all the way here to 37 is the idea. That would be the next stop, but the daily looks a bit sketchy to me. So, blessings on blessings. Let's take a look at that Fed watch and see what's happening. We know we're getting closer and closer. I mean, only about 10 days, 11 days away. That's kind of, 20 days away. It's crazy, right? It seems like, 87% that there's going to be a rate hike. So we got to wait for that and find out, are they going to cut the rates? Everybody's waiting on it, and there's just like almost too much anticipation for the same thing from everybody. Usually there's pain there, and a lot of pain. So there's definitely going to be liquidation events all across the board there. For me, it looks very, very likely. So Bitcoin, the NASDAQ trade, sitting pretty so far, given in the group. Little bounce back to the upside. Looks like it may come right back down, though, make a right shoulder. So I just I like taking profits quickly, but we'll see. I'm in for the longer haul here on that trade, so it is what it is. Thanks, Sam. I found new help much more. I have so much potential, but I couldn't quite collect myself. Mindset was needed. Fixed. You led me there. Was on the verge of giving up last year when I found you. God bless Mr. Flawless. I was on the verge of giving up many times too, man, and I just needed somebody to get my mind straight and collect my thoughts. And that person was Jim Rohn. He really, really collected my thoughts. It's amazing. Shout out to everyone that's getting this information from me because it changed my life forever. Helped me reprogram my subconscious mind. It's called neuroplasticity. We reprogram our own brains, right? We find out new things about ourselves. We find out we actually have more potential than we ever thought possible. When you're the new person you create, you realize that you can do anything you thought. Let's take a look at AVAX. The whole time you were holding yourself back. It was your mindset. Because when you change your mindset and feel great, you realize that you could have always felt great. It was just your mindset. So what was holding you back? Why weren't you feeling great? What were you doing? Something inside was holding you back, right? So let's take a look at this 4-to-1 risk reward ratio, 37770 for Bitcoin, and stop loss below 222. And I've been bullish on this call since we bounced off this low here on AVAX. And there's just other maybe there's one more low, but that I'm looking for AVAX to consolidate and then continue to pump up to $38 a coin for AVAX. So thank you so much for that. God bless you. Hello, my brother. Please advise. Most of the big moves happen when I'm sleeping in the morning. I regret missing it. What should I do? There's a big move again coming. How should I prepare? I mean, it's simple. You set up a limit order in certain areas or you set up alerts. I can't tell you what to do because all the order, they come right now when I'm usually live. So I've set my lifestyle around it. I also live on the East Coast and New York time is really, really relevant to trading. Maybe you should move. I don't know. Remember, we are the creators of a reality, and all it takes is one shifted mindset to propel you to your goals. Make it happen today. Justin B, he's 100% right. He's 100% right. It just takes a second to change your mentality and push yourself forward. Let's take a look at what's happening here. The altcoins, Kronos, really gaining momentum, and we went over why, set up 96% in a week, and that's great just to see news move in the market. That's bullish for the market overall. And you want to see that Solana taking aim at 206. And I put 100 grand at Solana. And it's been a long, long road. Shout out to Sol doing damage. Hyperliquid at 50. We talked about it in my trading group. I said it's the hottest position to be in. I showed you I was heavy in Hyperliquid. I bought a lot on the lows. Boom. Volta. I've been looking at AUSDT for the last few weeks. It looks interesting to me. Looks like it may make a big move here too in the next couple of days. Optimism. Sky on the radar, it's all right. Monero's been getting some love. And virtual. A little bit of moves. So, my favorite coin of the game, or what used to be Caspa, got to get it back to 10 cents. Got to get it back up to 10 cents. Tron is a hot mover too. Could be fun to trade because it's been strong. And my baby, my baby, Aerodrone Finance. So, Ethereum looks to be using this as either a support move or either something like this. Kind of bend this off a little bit, and you can see that we're kind of bouncing off trend line. So we had a fake out, or we came up to resistance, came back down, and now we're just kind of trending. And the upper bigger move there takes you to about $4,800 a coin for Ethereum. And that's what we're going to be looking for, this ascending triangle and this double bottom. High risk is to be below the 2-day moving average. Even lower risk is to be below the double bottom there, which is about 45.50. And then to be below 45.88 as well there for Ethereum. So Ethereum back above 4,600. Trade is starting to get back into the good graces here to the upside. I'm in this trade on weeks. Live trading Ethereum on weeks. You can hit the link to weeks to find out more of what's happening on weeks. And I'm here every single day trading my butt off. I'm a known day swing trader here on YouTube. And again, don't do anything you see here on the channel. Just understand the education, and this is my real life. This is a real life account of me doing what I do. ONDO, please, from Ivan Roke. I'm here for all the gain. Shout out to Keeping It Real Since podcast, my man. Sam and Master Fred joined the short list of people who have introduced a perspective that completely changed my life. Biscuits, we love you, man. Things will change if you look at them differently. If you change your brain, you'll never be the same. I know this because it happened to me in such a metamorphical way, a metamorphosis. I can't believe the way it changed. So more TA, more TA. We're going to give you more technical analysis than any other channel. We're going to hit you with the sauce every single day. Weekly show of gratitude and love for the lifer, master of our life-changing skills, and mental XXS. Join the 99. Shout out to Brave. Thank you so much for the super chat. You didn't have to give, but you did. May God bless you. Ivan Roque, ask about ONDO. As we're starting to pick up some steam here for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin, look at that. Kind of an Adam and Eve, right? You see that? How that looks like an Adam and Eve double bottom. Almost like a slanted head and shoulder. Not my favorite pattern by any means, but it does look like an Adam and Eve, right? They move to the upside 68% of the time, and it's almost like you got a flag here. Touch of the 21. This Bitcoin head right to the target there at 113.5. Like BookMap says that we could liquidate the shorts here further to the upside. So there is still some gain, some chance here that we could get a bit of a gain. And what I like to do is just take scalps with the 200 moving average. But let's look at the 5, the 15. 5-minute looks pretty interesting. It's in a bull flag touching the 21 above the 200. It's a known pump area there for Bitcoin. 15's a little overbought, but showing signs of life too above its 21. This tells me that I could take a gander here. Stop loss below the 200 again. When you're in a very bullish time and you've got somewhat of even a micro uptrend, it's good to just, I use the 200 as my protection. I'll stay in this for a couple hours, see if we can get our move back up to 113.8. And this is another live trade here at BitTinex. We're ripping it. We have a live trade here on the NASDAQ on BTCC. And we took gains on MEXC, which has barely any fees in the game here today as well, on the trade on Bitcoin, on the Bitcoin USD pair and the Bitcoin USDT pair. Two trades that we're ripping together. We also have got a bot running that's doing damage right now, and inside of two trades right now and buying close to the bottom. Multiple streams of income flowing if you open your mind and believe that you can create multiple streams of income. I studied multiple streams of income. I believed it. I was talked it into fruition. I need to have multiple streams. It can't just be your job. There's got to be multiple streams of income coming into your life. Amen. Why not? Why not live abundance if you have one crop? Why not have 3 crops? I always look at my life like farming. When people say, oh, I don't want that much in life. My finances, I like being humble. I always look like, so you would like to have a farm with like just a couple crops? Or would you like, or like a very small crop that barely grows? Wouldn't you have an abundant crop that is full of life and just absolutely just, crushing it? And there's just food everywhere and you can eat this and eat that. You've got carrots, you've got corn, you've got it all. Of course you would. So the same thing about your financial garden. There's no reason why it shouldn't be full of fruition and growing fruit. That's 100%. 100%. Someone said KEYCAT is taken off. Keyboard cat here on MEXC. And we're still getting movement in altcoins, but it's not alt season just yet. We still need Ethereum to really rip. We're getting little movements in coins. It's good. People are getting excited. We're watching some liquidity move, right? And people are deciding, hey, I'm going to take a shot. Once people feel that Bitcoin is holding a key level, they're going to feel more comfortable about trading the memes and smaller coins. If coin controls the narrative, it doesn't control exactly what happens. It controls the narrative. When they feel like, okay, Bitcoin's not going to lose this key level, even if they think it's for a few days, meme coins can run. When the cat's away, the mouse will play. It's kind of like that. But when Bitcoin threatens a key level, when Bitcoin looks like it's teetering on a massive dump, people are out of altcoins. They're sitting on the sidelines and they don't want to play around, right? And that's the narrative. The narrative is fear. And that bounces back between both. Determining when that's about to switch is really what trading is all about. And if you show up every day, you'll just be there more than you're not, and you'll be able to take advantage of it. Doesn't mean you're going to hit every single time. But the odds of you hitting are way luckier than someone who just comes in and out, right? 100%. So I know that if I'm just more consistent, I'll hit more than someone that maybe even researches more than me, because if they don't show up enough, they're going to miss their research. But if you just show up, you're eventually going to get the research. Everything's going to come. You're going to get the information slowly but surely over time. It's very interesting how it works out. Okay. Got to plant those money trees. More you have, the more you can give 100%. Shout out to Lifer. When you plant belief instead of doubt, water it with action, and the garden of your life grows in abundance. Put in the work, and you'll always taste the fruits of your labor. 100%. And don't worry about, a days where it's not perfect. When you should have had a higher score or things aren't exactly the same. As long as you're showing up every day, God bless you. As long as you keep pushing every day, you've got this. As long as you believe in your humble nature and hard work, by golly gee oh my, you're going to get taken care of by the way the universe works. It knows who's producing and who isn't. You can't lie to the universe. You can't BS it. And so to the winner goes the spoils, says the universe. It knows who's producing value. The markets find value as well. If you feel like you're not making enough money, then you need to provide more value to the market. That's what Jim Rohn told me. People want to raise, but are you doing more for the company? You got to produce more value if you want more money. Period. It doesn't work two different ways. You got to find a way to give something to the world, and then you'll get something back in return. That's my belief is every business should start with you giving something. Like, for instance, the class that I'm basically giving away for $150, in my humble opinion. I feel like it is, it's a figure of speech, but for $150, jump on into class this Saturday. Find out more at cryptolifer.com or Lifer Vision Trading Course. Just hit that QR code. We make it very simple. Jump on it today to find out more. And there you go. That is awesome. Yeah, I love that. And we're going to be at class this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 12:30, working on a Saturday grinding, because that's just what we do. Yeah. Hit the QR code or the link below the video. There is a link below the video. What do you see in Toshi? I'm not sure. Let me take a look here at what's happening with the fan funding and see what's going down with the lifers. So he has T on AVAX T. Kenneth Thompson, we took a look at AVAX. Thank you so much for the $9.99. That will come back to you tenfold. Type Crow, $5. My Crow buddy loves Crow, and of course he's going to come through. God bless you, Crow. My dear friend and crypto YouTuber, Space Chick Crypto, passed 1 year ago. A gem in the space. God bless Space Chick Crypto. So sorry we lost her. Sammy, can you check MEOW Soul? Kitten Coin. Kitty Coin. That thing's doing damage. Sammy, can you check Towns? We're going to look at Towns right now. We're going to look at GoPro. We did look at RECC. We're going to look at ONDO from Ivan Roque and George Wingard. HD as well. Simeon Ivanov. And everybody that gave. Shout out to Brave as well. All right, so we got to look at ONDO, GoPro, and Towns. Let's take a look at Towns. And remember, paying the trader, there's nothing wrong with paying the trader. I got sick of watching so many pumps and then dumps. I started realizing, man, I'm just going to swing trade things that go up. So I never bought this coin. We saw that it was on the radar. It's the lowest I've ever seen. Okay. I've only seen it a couple times, though. So it's been down only for a while now for Towns. Does that mean it has to bounce eventually? Buying the bottom is amazing? I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of that. I got to make sure that there's TA and FA. I like some fundamental analysis. Let's take a look at Towns and what it is. It's 586, which isn't even that bad. It's got a $47 million market cap. And let's take a look at what it is. It's on a lot of exchanges, too. It's got a lot of unlocks, apparently. So Towns is a protocol, is a communication infrastructure project designed to enable developers to build real-time messaging applications. It's composed of an EVM-compatible Layer 2 blockchain, decentralized stream nodes for message delivery, and smart contracts deployed on Base and Ethereum Layer 2. Towns protocol enables the creation of programmable group chats called Spaces. Each space is owned and operated by its creator community. Spaces supported encrypted messages, on-chain membership, staking mechanisms, and monetization through smart contract functionality. The protocol is designed to allow users to build communication platforms without relying on the centralized intermediaries. Towns protocol is developed by the team behind the Towns application, was formed by the creators of House Party, a social video app acquired by Epic Games. This team is based in the United States and is backed by investors including AI16 Crypto, Coinbase Ventures, and Benchmark. They got a good resume, and it looks like it could do some damage over time. But right now, for whatever reason, people got in super early. A lot of token unlocks. It seems like it's completely underwater. Could be a time to buy a great project on the low, though. But for me, I don't know. That's got to be your call. I can't make that call. Ethereum back at the top of the channel, likely to come back down and hopefully consolidate or make a huge move. I'm looking for consolidation or a pump. Either one are good for me for Ethereum. Let's get back into it. We want to look at GoPro stock, which I remember someone saying to me was in the absolute tubes. And then I looked at it and it did look like it was like a buck or something. $1.70 yet. Funny, last time I looked at it though, it did suggest we were going to break out. Remember we made this kind of flag here? I made it like this. Who knew what it was going to do? It made a shoulder head, kind of right shoulder. It triple bottomed. Funny, they always go after the stop hunts, right? They stop hunt and then rip. Same thing on GoPro. And there's the pump there to the upside. GoPro. I mean, now you would be looking for the daily to make a flag, but it looks like it's starting to slowly crawl back, at least. Interesting. Coming back from the depths of its lows. Can it get to 230? GoPro possibly a week sideways now as it has to catch up, or it goes right back. It either gives us back quickly, this was like a short squeeze, or we go sideways. And that's why I would only trade it if it goes sideways back to the 21, because that tells you it had consolidation. And that consolidation gives you probability. And that probability makes it more likely that you'll win your trade. So you should always use mathematical reasoning when getting inside of a trade. That's why patterns work, because patterns come from mathematical reasoning. It's a logical move. It's a logical idea. It's not rocket science. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Let's take a look. And thank you for sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Let's take a look at ONDO, baby. ONDO. ONDO USDT on MEXC. So last time I looked at ONDO, we did look at an entry there, somewhat about 94 on the base of that. We got a pump, we got a dump. Now we're having it stopped out, but we've been going sideways. ONDO's been a very boring coin to hold. It takes a long time to make some gains, it would seem, for ONDO. It can be annoying to hold ONDO. I hold ONDO. Sometimes it kind of annoys me. I don't think about it too much. You know, I don't focus on it as much as, you know, like my Bitcoin positions and stuff. So I don't know. But it would be nice if it hurried up a little bit. But I'll take it, man. Slow money is great money. And, you know, it's better than fast money, because fast money in trading can come right back down as well. Bit of a double bottom. We got a flag. Cup and handle. That measured move of the cup and handle is nice and high back at 146. And I'm holding ONDO and just waiting for it to go. And so I just DCA into ONDO, hold bags of it, and wait for it to pump. It's a very simple way for me to trade ONDO. I don't have any leverage trades open on it. I'm not going crazy. I will make a prediction. I firmly believe, based on my TA, that you're going to be going up to 147 before you ever lose 84 again. And that would be a really nice place to keep the stop loss. But again, I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe a stop loss comes immediately and push, you know, who knows? Yeah. Hi, Sam. How about ton on the 200 moving average support on the 8-hour time frame? You think I should stay in that time frame? Out TP on the lower time frame? I don't know what to do. I don't want to tell you anything about your TP. I'll look at the technical analysis for you, but that's about it. You know what I'm saying? I am not a financial advisor. I'll never tell you when to buy or sell, what to do with your money at all for any reason. If anyone DMs you, says we're doing some project or something behind the scenes or all that, I don't. Get out of there. You're somehow getting fished, and you don't want to be a part of that. All right. I'm not running around DMing people, giving them other ideas. Sometimes I DM someone if I see they're in peril. I need to try to fix something. I want to get some information. Last night I did DM someone in the group because we needed to talk about something. He knows who it is, and I verified it's me. We're talking about the same stuff. So anyway, when I look at this, I see this Adam and Eve double bottom. I see the same cup and handle that I just showed you, right, on ton. I mean, the same cup and handle I just showed you on the last, on ONDO, right? So this, to me, does look likely. You're making a falling wedge, maybe even come down one more time. But it does suggest that you don't have to, like, the stop loss will not be getting hit here if it's below like 290 or maybe even 270. Highly likely that you get a move up to 420, 427. But again, I'm not 100%, but I believe the odds are very likely you get in here, stop loss down here, or you just get in and DCA that this thing is going to move. And it's got it's a big project, right? I mean, think about it. And it is a bit of an Adam and Eve here. Still kind of in a bit of a way. So only time will tell. But thank you so much for the super chat. May God bless you. I appreciate you for interacting and being a part of the stream. Let's take a look at that 8-hour time frame that you spoke of, though. I mean, that's a nice little hold right there. It's a very gutsy call, too. But it's high risk, high reward when you get in right there. Many times that has been the bottom or the beginning of a reversal. You're going to be looking for a shoulder head and a right shoulder to kind of get you out of that one there. All right. Blessings on everybody who's here. Thank you for jumping on in. Okay. Again, I just wanted to say again, thank you to CoinVigilante. They threw me this watch there at Vegas. And I said, you know what? Show me your link and we'll do some business together. And so check out this Bitcoin watch. It's pretty awesome. And we have a link to it in the description if you want to find out more. And just check out the CoinVigilante website. I got it up here somewhere. I'll get it up. There it is. Boom. And what I'll do is I'll just post it into the comment section there. And so, yeah, check this out when you have a chance at the end of the stream or whatever you want. Pretty cool watches at CoinVigilante. All right. And they represent your love for Bitcoin and crypto. I got one, and I got Rolexes and other watches too. This thing is nice. Like I like what I'm not lying. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't even talk about it. I don't make the the watches are what, $600 to $1,000. I make 10-20%. Well, it's $100, $200. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you guys know me. I'm Sam Price. So like that means I just like the brand. Some things I do just because I like to do them, man. And honestly, it's well made. And they represent your love for Bitcoin. And this one's really cool. Anyway, enough about the watches. I like them. So, I'm rocking one right now. I'm going to rock mine all day, man. Can you look at KEYCAT, please? Thank you. Oh, yeah, KEYCAT. Our baby KEYCAT. Let's take a look at what's happening to KEYCAT. KTA. So, KEYCAT was hot. And we looked for it to go sideways. It, struggled a little bit. It's been a long time hold, remember? We first went into KEYCAT and talked about it at 12 cents. And then the thing rallied to 170. Came back down to 38. Then rallied from 38 to 158. So both times it's been an amazing buy. But now to me, it's lost some market structure. Lost a little bit of market structure here. And I would look for a Fibonacci from here to impulse and a bounce off the 618 or maybe even the 786 to keep it going. Maybe it makes a double bottom now though and has to come and revisit to 47. It did lose a key area. You'd want it to bounce there. And I see kind of a shoulder head right shoulder that is starting to play out. Looks like there's a little more downside to possibly 69 cents for KEYCAT. I could be wrong. If it gets back up inside this trend line, it's bullish for its next big move, and that target is, drumroll please. It's, that's not the best. No, 322. All right, for KEYCAT. So that's a possibility for KEYCAT. That's the kind of level that we're looking at. But again, there's some up and down things there. All right. So Bitcoin struggling, shoulder, head, right shoulder, right? And we didn't lose the 200 MA, but I'm not in love with that pattern. It looks bearish to me. And I'd like not to give up my gains for the day. I'd like to break even on BitTineX and keep my 1,000 on MEXC. Doesn't look amazing there on the 5. 1 minute. Okay, I'll put my stop loss below the 200 on the 1, and I'll just, that'll be it. All right. Smaller time frames for Bitcoin are looking somewhat treachery. ETH is holding up okay. ETH is doing better than Bitcoin. The ETH trade's still sitting pretty there, up about 4.5%, 260 on the Ethereum trade. So not a bad morning, right? Made gains on the morning. We're able to see a flag of the 1 hour, played the 1 hour, sold it nicely. Simply put, right? As a day trader, today was a beautiful execution for day trading. Shout out to anyone that day traded with me or saw what I saw and was able to take advantage of the market the way I did. And that's the key. And we'll be back tomorrow to do that again. And we're still going to see if there's anything else kind of coming our way. There's still a lot of altcoins that are going to be interesting. There's going to be a whole, I think, DeSci. Write this down. Decentralized Science, DeSci. You're going to see a wave of that coming if we do get a bigger run. And DeSci is going to take over. There's going to be some new DeSci coins. I believe AI agents will continue to rally. And things are going to kind of go in a different way. Someone asked about ZORA. Let's take a look at ZORA here on the radar. ZORA was hot. We found ZORA first because it was Token Metrics was talking about it. Last time I looked at ZORA, I saw it in this flag. Very tight though. That doesn't mean it's gonna hold the flag for sure. So here's the thing: whenever trading a flag projection, I'm going to teach you a couple things right now. Whenever trading a flag projection, and you start getting accustomed to it somewhat, and maybe you hit a couple trades. Then you make a flag and the flag dumps on you maybe once or twice and you wonder what's up. Start just getting a little more picky on the flag. Like make the flag get a little deeper. If you make the flag get a little deeper, you can avoid some of these pitfalls that may be happening to you. Now it takes patience. You want to get into the trade when you want, but that's not the key. The key is to set areas. So when this hits, there's no emotion there, right? It's going to tell me information. I'd like the information to be the information I'm looking for, which is to be sideways price action. If we get that, then I'd like to trade ZORA up to 20 cents or at least take a shot. It tells me it's worth risking my money there. Right now, it could dump. Or it's a beautiful trade, like I'm buying the absolute bottom. So there's high risk, high reward in trading this right now. Once you've made enough money in your life and you've done very well, why would you take the risky entry? Why wouldn't you just wait for this one? You see what I'm saying? Now, if you just began as a trader and you're starting out and you don't know all the probabilities, you might trade this a lot more because, hey, you're in a riskier place and you don't even know why you're being more risky. Once you have years in the market, your subconscious mind is trained to more probabilities than you knew before. You now know things you didn't know to be true based off of the facts, like you've seen it over and over again. Like I know that we come back to the 21. Today, when I sold Bitcoin, I knew there was a high likelihood we were coming back to the 21-day moving average. Look at Bitcoin, 11,700. At the time, when we went up to 11,12,8, people probably, their emotions got the best of them, and they said, wow, Sam sold the bottom. That thing's going up 114,000. He's out of his mind, right? Some people probably jumped in saying he said it's going up. Now they're underwater. They're blaming me, even though I sold the trades. You see what I'm saying? Everyone will blame everyone else but themselves until they're ready to step up their game. When you're ready to change forever and really, really make something of yourself, you're ready to blame yourself for everything that comes your way. And it's only a matter of time that's how it works, okay? So shout out to anyone trading and doing well with Bitcoin, because if you're doing that, you're probably going to want to buy a watch to represent that. And CoinVigilante got it, baby. The Bitcoin orange face with the black too. It'll be only one of your only black watches in your collection, most likely, and you'll absolutely love it. It'll be amazing. ZORA, possibly getting to 20. I like what I'm seeing, but I'd like the bounce first. Highly aggressive entry would be now with the higher low. What are the odds it's going to hit? You look for stochastics. When they get lower, your better odds of hitting are higher. So the lower the stochastic, the better off your chances of not getting stopped out. And then using a supportive resistance that makes sense, like this one here. Previous resistance right there is a support zone for the bounce. There's a high volume node on the VRVP. You look for confluence in your trades. It's going to be everywhere. You're going to be able to find it all the time. If you demand it as such, you will find it. Like, you have to have confluence, then you'll get it. If you think it's whatever's, then you'll trade whatever. Get after it today. Make it happen, because I know you can. So ZORA, I paid the trader today. Did you? Let's take a look at the Fear and Greed Index. 51. Interesting. The 48 yesterday. These are great places to accumulate Bitcoin in bullish times. Oh my goodness. And let them go down to fear. Let them get into the fear, which means I think we'd have to get to like 105, 101,000. We could get to like, if we can get to 101,000 or even just 100K, 800, and we can get into this shaded region, we have ourselves something pretty interesting going. For sure. So yeah, and here's a bot that I got trading all the time. I do bring it up. Every day I do get commission from the bot if you sign up. So, you know, and I use it and I like it. So it's something that I use. It's something that works and something that I think if you used it, you'd like it too. So, and I also get paid for it. So, hey, I'm honest as the day is long, right? So there you go, man. I like this idea. So I like the MINOTAUR trading bot. I have a link to it if you want to find out more. And we post it throughout this time because, hey, you might want to know more about it. Maybe there's better out there. Maybe there's worse. I don't know. I know it works for me, and what I got going is awesome. So check it out. Find out for yourself. Make your comparisons. ZORA. All right. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin had the huge spike to resistance at 12.5. Again, 112,500. We knew that was going to be a key area to hone in on. So let's take a look at kind of what happened here on the 1 hour today. The measured move was the length of the pole. Okay, that's your measured move. That's where you're likely going to go. Dang. Sends you to the 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame. Says we can likely get there. So I was looking for us to get there. We kind of went a little short of it because of that supportive resistance was very strong. Our next area of resistance too is sitting there at 113,005. You can see if we get some type of bat, you know, if we start to make a move here. So what now? Well, stochastics aren't completely spent yet, but massive wick down is not the best sign. We are touching the 21-day moving average, which has a high probability of sustaining price action. And this is a shoulder head. Maybe we make some type of sloppy right shoulder. It's a chance we're looking at a bigger consolidation. That could get us to hit this measured move eventually, and it's just not over yet. We may need to come back down and test the bottom of this trend line. I didn't see this till just now, so I'm just having this realization with you. Thank you for being here with me and sharing it. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope you're doing well with you and yours. Your dog, your cat, your mom, your sister, your grandma, mother-in-law, father-in-law, brother, you know, daughter, son, mother, you know, everyone in your life, niece, nephew, the turtle, the little parakeet, everybody you got going on, the dog, the cat. I hope everything's healthy in your life and everybody's going well. God bless you. Thank you for being here. And let me put God first again on this channel. God is my Savior. God is everything. Jesus is awesome. Jesus represents the light, the love, the happiness, Esau. But dear Lord, I just want to pray that everyone has a wonderful day today. And thank you for this channel. Thank you for this opportunity to be live. You know, the internet has to work, electricity has to work, everything has to be going our way for things to kind of continue. So thank you so much for everything you've given me in this life. And thank you for the opportunities provided for me every day. May I continue to make the best of them, not think any negative thoughts, push my mind to the greatest places and help each and every one of you. And may you do the same. May God help everyone here on this stream push themselves to be more disciplined, push themselves to find just the best version of themselves every single day and get closer to God too. Everyone, I love you. Thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate it. Remember, love is the answer. If you can learn to use love a lot, then you're going to be full of love, and love is going to be strong in your life. And if love is strong, it's the strongest frequency in the game. You're going to be doing pretty well. Yesterday, got into a trade on that 1 hour 21 and sold the top. Did it again this morning, 1 hour 21 and sold the spike. Join the group. Shout out to Byron Franco, who learned my strategy and was able to make gains. He's telling you, he's paying $4.99 super chats. They're telling you, hey, go to cryptolifer.com and spend a month in there and see what happens. Hey, thank you so much for saying that, man. God bless you. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. Word of mouth is the greatest way that businesses grow. When someone else that's not the owner, he's not the owner. I don't know Byron Franco well. We're not like great friends. Okay. He just watched me online. He learned some of my strategies for free, probably. He then applied them. He joined the group. He started making money. Have you read about Google L1 blockchain? No, that's interesting. Of course, Google's going to come with an L1 blockchain. It's only a matter of time. Kind of creepy when we start seeing the what took so long, right? But we'll have a full report on it for you right away. Reliable J, God bless you, man. And I'm excited. Friday night dinner with the lifers. And God bless everyone that has that exclusive invite to hang out. And we're going to have fun. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, so on August 27th, Google Cloud officially unveiled details about its upcoming Layer 1 blockchain named the Google Cloud Universal Layer. This marks Google's direct entry into building custom blockchain infrastructure, the GCUL. specifically tailored for institutional finance payments and settlements and real-world asset tokenization. Unlike general-purpose L1s like Ethereum, GCUL is designed as a high-performance, neutral platform for banks, payment processors, and enterprises, leveraging Google's cloud enterprise to address pain points in the global finance, such as slow cross-border transactions and volatile fees. GCUL aims to power tokenized asset, programmable settlements, and multi-asset tokenization, currencies, bonds, and commodities. It supports Python-based smart contracts for easier development and automation, making it accessible for traditional finance institutions without deep crypto expertise. Near instant transaction times, especially for cross-border payments, predictable stable fees, invoiced monthly. So they're seeing what's happening. They're seeing what's going on. This is giving me the chills, like the whole world is changing forever. After today, it will never be the same. Google will control the payment systems behind. A public role is targeted for 2026, potentially expanding to more open participation and builds on years of Google R&D blockchain and can integrate with the broader Google ecosystem. It's a big deal. If you didn't know, now you know. Google is getting into blockchain. And look at that Grok just serving it up so fast and so sweet and giving you all the information you know. You don't need to Google no more. It's interesting. We're talking about Google and I don't need to Google no more. Isn't that weird? Grok's probably going to have to come out with its own L1. There's going to be so many chains. The blockchain world is going to be insane. Navigating it will be easier for people that have been in this world already because it's already a pretty insane world. It's not easy. A lot of ups and downs here. You know, if you have faith in the chart process, then you have faith that somehow, some way, price action will stay above the 15-minute 200 moving average. And if we continue to do that, we have ourselves a bit of a move here. So same thing for Bitcoin, maybe 2 hours sideways and we get ourselves another big move. We have an inverted head and shoulder inside of an ascending triangle with a slightly extended move there up to about $115,000 BTC. We take a look here and, we're still toying with this, and it still says, yeah, we can get to 113. We still got big red at 113. There is liquidity below us too, all the way at 109, 108, you see 107. And then I like to look above us here too, and you see 112 of those just sitting there waiting to get eaten. I mean, that's a massive red line. So time will tell. BOOKMAP is there to kind of guide us, not to tell us exactly what's happening, but to guide us. All right. And over time, we will find our what's going to happen and how to manipulate that move. So right now, it's telling us we're going up to about 113,295 for Bitcoin, which looks quite interesting to moi. I'm going to watch this closely for the trading group, and if I see something, I'm going to pounce. But it's looking like a beautiful entry could occur somewhere in between 2 and 4 o'clock today. I love Wednesdays. They're great trading days. We have no crazy red folders till tomorrow, and it goes into Wednesday night. And so we might be getting a pump all night to eat the shorts alive here after we basically called the bottom yesterday too as well. So we're fighting to find the bottom. We do it all the time. Shout out to everyone that did it with me. And so my next idea here is this for Bitcoin. And what I'm going to do is put 2 alerts. I like to have 2 now. Just double them up. When price action crosses these alerts, I'm going to know I could be eating a sandwich, having a P&J. I love me a P&J. You know what I mean? Seriously, I could be worth $1 billion. Get me a P&J, man. I'd be the happiest man in the game. Something about that peanut butter and jelly, baby. On sourdough bread, baby. Come on. So we're looking for consolidation for Bitcoin. There's a chance we get a huge pump with a smaller time frame. Like the 5-minute just goes berserk. The way Bitcoin's been, I've been like, 5-minute might just go brah and rip to the upside. It may not either, but it could. So price has been volatile. I'm using my subconscious mind to look at the probabilities and go from there. I don't know what's going to happen. I wish I could tell you 100% we're doing this, but I don't know. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I have no clue where Bitcoin's going. I don't. I'm just an honest guy here showing you what I see. And whatever happens, happens from there. God bless everybody in the live. Thank you for being here. If I haven't said it again, I just want to make sure I'm catching all the new people that are jumping on into the stream. Blessings on blessings. Okay. So, 552 likes. Maybe get the likes up to the watchers. It would be a blessing. Thank you. All right, so Caspa, smart contracts live in 4 days, Sam. The push to all-time highs and the FOMO is going to be the most rewarding feeling ever. Let's take a look at Caspa, and I've been heavy in Caspa since a penny. Where's my Caspa crew at? Where is my Caspa crew at? There's got to be a lot of people here that are in Caspa. I was at a diner about a month and a half ago. A guy comes in, Caspa shirt on. I bogged out. I was like, no way. Like, laughed, took a picture with him, sent it to the group, said, everyone, I just seen a guy with a Caspa shirt on. Like a true nerd. I was, not him, but you know what I mean? Let's take a look. Can we get all the way up to 9 cents, 9 3/10%? Look like this right shoulder could pump, and we'll get a move here for Caspa. So Caspa looks bullish just on the smaller time frame. Right now, I see a possible long here for Caspa. Stop loss below this crazy wick action, massive 2 liquidations. Gives you some hope and the point of control there. You know, I like this move for Caspa. So you could write this down, take a picture of this. I like what Caspa's doing. I'll put this to the group just so it will remind me, and then I'll update kind of what else I see there. Four days till smart contracts. I mean, that would only propel liquidity, right? And, you know, I don't see how that wouldn't start high TVLs and some type of, you know, DeFi ledgers, and just, you know, it could move. So I like what I'm seeing for Caspa. Right, you need that right shoulder. Head all the way up to about 9 cents and 0.3%. All right. Okie dokie. Yeah, bigger picture is that we're in this puppy here. You know, it's kind of the same that we saw. You have that double bottom, the cup and handle, right? And this thing just has to go. Like, we got to get our bounce. If altcoins don't bounce, they're back to the doldrums again, back to waiting for the high, you know, breaking lower support and just kind of boring. So, like, give us the love. And this looks a lot like ONDO, a lot like they're all kind of similar. They got the double bottom with this little flag, and they got the cup and handle with the higher low. And they're about to do damage, right? This one's just a lot lower than others. And I'm going to show you total 3 in a second. That's the entire market cap of all of the cryptocurrencies, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And show you that it still looks really bullish. We just need a little more sideways price action before the next big pump. So when is alt season? I'm going to tell you right now. Everybody wants to know. And I'm going to tell you right now here on the channel. So you waited this long. And I'm going to show you when alt season is. And that's the most important thing. Everyone wants to make the biggest gains. The biggest gains, everyone thinks it's in leverage trading. I don't know. I think it's just too much. The biggest gains is in holding spot, the right thing at the right time, and watching a massive 50x, 30x, even a 10x, heck, making some gains. So right now, when I look at this, I'm actually going to readjust this trend line, and I'm going to get tight. And it's telling us that the move is coming pretty soon for altcoins. They're about to explode. It's telling you to jump on to an altcoin and hold on, because alt season is about to explode, baby. So you do whatever makes you happy. We've been through a lot of ups and downs. I got to tell you, the odds, the 21 touching above the 200. We do this on the 1 minute. You see me do this on the, this is my model on the daily. This tells me it's time. And I've loaded up on alts so heavily. My hyperliquid is up so nicely now. Gains on gains. I'm actually going to take a look at how big I'm up for the day, because it must be fat. Shout out to everybody here. And again, not everything has to be a lev trade. I'm up 13 grand today, and that's spot swinging. You know what I mean? You don't have to, 14 grand. Might I speak there. So you don't, everyone's trying to make all this big money. You don't even need, once you get a lot of money, not to be rude, but, a few hundred racks liquid, fine, go leverage trade it all the way if you like, or leverage trade. I mean, I leverage trade, don't get me wrong. But I always have a back end of a spot position usually, and I really believe in spot. Spot made me all my money to begin with. So I see a massive move here in total. And that's going to be a pump for the altcoins. That's going to be a pump for the ages. So it looks like maybe, I don't know, it says by September 1st or 2nd. So September may have become notoriously the worst month ever. Might end up becoming one of the best months ever in the history of altcoins. I'm open-minded, everybody, that anything is possible. And past performance does not make, what's going to happen in the future 100%. This looks very interesting to me. Total headed all the way up to about 1.71. Interesting. So, and getting very tight too as well with the 21-day moving average. This looks good. So, to me, I'm calling out alt season, and I usually don't do that. I'm not trying to be overhyped. And people know what I'm holding. I'm holding bags on bags, man. Big old bags. And I'm not afraid to hold them. We'll see where this goes over time. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. Let's take a look at Hyperliquid, a coin that I went over and over again, saw strength in, stayed true to, never broke position, and kept telling you that I was loading up down here, and wow, the load up down here paid off nicely as we're back kind of headed to the breakout. And I see us headed to 62. And that's a buy the breakout now if you get in now, but a little late. But again, once we crack 50, look how long we consolidated. Then they had more volume than Robinhood. And they're one of the best, decentralized exchanges in the game. Again, anything could happen. It is crypto. You never know. You hope there's no hacks, no problems. I don't even like saying that because, but you want it to run smoothly. And if that continues to run smoothly, this price action's headed to 62. That's a nice 20% gains and 38%. And even from when we first started looking at it down there. So I just readjusted for the new people. 5-to-1 risk reward ratio right now too. Again, the breakout would be now it's a way different trade. But shout out to anyone that took the Hyperliquid trade. It's just getting started and we'll monitor it. But I see it, 2-3 weeks from now. I do not see how it doesn't hit my target. Possibly earlier than that. Let's take a look at NEAR. There's institutional grade attention on NEAR. And I think Grayscale looking at ETFs and stuff like that too as well. Same thing for NEAR here too. Everyone's watching to see if we can consolidate just a little more here and then a bigger breakout. Head all the way to 420. The tightness is beautiful. Look, double bottom with the little flag here. Cup and handle. It looks like ONDO. You see the same, now you see the same thing in every coin. That total market cap, that total 3 looks absolutely beautiful. And it's saying that alt season is upon us. So, I don't know. It's sad. But this is one of the biggest announcements I've ever made on the channel, ever in the history of the channel. Seriously, in my life. And it's telling us that it looks like alt season is about to rip. Ethereum is leading the charge. Our trade is ripping. Looks like we're going to do some damage today. We got to stay inside this trade and let this puppy go. So let's go ETH, baby. Let's go. And, ETH doesn't need Bitcoin to rip to Bitcoin's back down to 11,007. It seems like Bitcoin got a rip, sells off into Ethereum. And so Ethereum getting some love right now and really taking the market by storm. Let's take a look at ETHBTC as you'll probably see it beating up on Bitcoin and beating up hard. Yeah, there it goes right there, ETH Bitcoin. And actually, I feel like we got to put it in a rising wedge. And suggest that this thing could bump to the upside and do some serious damage. I mean, ETHBTC. Look at that puppy. Bang, right? And all the way to 0.05361. Very interesting. Where's the music stop? Oh my God. So ETH Bitcoin. Resistance. Now, it could do one of two things. It could consolidate here and end up making the flag. That's great. Then break out. Or it could start to break out. I see both of these scenarios as possible. I don't see a dump coming for ETH Bitcoin. And I could be wrong. But this is starting to gain some serious momentum against BTC. And that's alt season, baby. And you can see the momentum continuing to grow. If you're in altcoins right now, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised at the movement. Now, if you stayed in altcoins throughout this entire time, people thought you were crazy. A lot of people thought I was crazy. They left the group. They thought I was nuts. They still think I am nuts. When this thing comes back strong, do you know how much retail is going to come back FOMOing for us? And remember, they are not in when you're supposed to be in. They come in at least a quarter into the cycle of money making. Some of them get the end, some of them get the middle, and then they all come in at the end. We're going to be selling when they all jump on in. That's how it works. I'm sorry, that's the facts. So you're going to be pleasantly rewarded for hanging in there. That's how the markets work. If you hang in these markets long enough, there's a high. And again, who knows? I can't say for sure, right? Because I don't want to make these. But man, people that stay in markets, I've studied them for a long time. The people that stay in the markets long, like Warren Buffett, that have a long-term outlook, that sit there no matter what, they end up being the ones who get paid. The people that are fickle, the people that are in and out, they have trouble. Morning, brother. Do we have time for TA on SWE? Hopefully we didn't go over it yet. I'm a bit late. Work got my head spinning, man. 100%, bro. Let's take a look at SWE for my man, Jamal Antonio. Jamal, I love you, man. You know anything for you, brother. Let's take a look at SWE. And I know Jamal, like we've hung out multiple times. People, I'm not just like, people say, is that how he talks to his subscribers? I do, but me and Jamal actually, I've met a lot of my subscribers. We've hung out. I like SWE right here where it's at. I believe this is going to be the last prices to buy SWE. Either the market collapse, we come for a double bottom, and 267 is where we have to build from. We're getting the bounce, we're consolidating, and we're getting the launch. SWE looks like total market cap. It's a big boy compared, so it does have some of that total 3 in it. And bang, I see $930 for SWE. I'm heavy in SWE. I'm also heavy in DeepBook protocol. DeepBook will move if SWE moves. DeepBook is the decentralized exchange, very similar to Cetus. Learn how to get money, you know, so if SWE does damage, DeepBook will do the same. And DeepBook will go up, I believe, on a 2.5 multiple, and SWE will just double up, right, from like $4 to $9.99. This will go from like 15 to 45. It'll triple up, really. So I like what I'm seeing here for DeepBook protocol and SWE. But again, it's high risk, high reward for sure. And there's no guarantees about anything in crypto, so be careful. Shout out to Ball. Thank you for the $13 super chat. May God bless you on that 13, though. I see you, brother. The 13, eh? SWE has functionality for sure. It's implemented into MetaMask now in the last week, too, I saw. So that's big. You can also get in and out. I mean, it has memes, and it has a lot of DeFi. And it has a lot of, there's a lot of different places where you can get TVL and APY and all that fun stuff. So if you Google it, you'll find. Yeah. Someone says sell. I mean, I'm not that guy. I won't say that I believe there's a big season coming unless I see it happening. Last time we talked about it was the biggest surge in crypto, and we had that cup and handle it. It did pump nicely. I called the bottom on the NASDAQ too and the S&P the last few years if you just paid attention. So if you just come to the stream every day, you'll know that I'm not an overly bullish guy. I don't normally say alt season is coming. It's very rare for me to do, actually. And there's still a chance we double bottom here and then this thing dumps. And there's no alt season. There is a chance, but it's starting to kind of get in there. Those that buy the hype, sell the panic, 100%. Exactly. Been holding since the bear market lows, baby. Shout out to Byron Franco. God bless you. Shout out to Servando Estrada. Shout out to Moses Alexander Cruz. It's really hard to accept the retail will throw all that money coming up holiday season. It's really hard to accept that retail will throw at the market. It's really hard to accept that retail will throw at the market coming up. I don't know what he's saying. I can't read that probably. You had to earn to be able to stick around and find out, just like in life. Yeah, 100%. I look at where I am in life now, the YouTube channel, my life, and I'm like, how? And I'm like, well, I stuck around. Many times I should have given up. Many times it didn't look great. There's some days, too, it still gets in my head, and I fight right through it because you can't control what happens to your life. You can only control what you do, okay? And that's all that matters. We're going to have so much fun all together in alt season. Shout out to Lindsay Huddock. Dude, if we get a rip like we get, you wouldn't believe it does get pretty fun. And people start making money like they wouldn't believe. And I've been in the group, but there's been some euphoric times in my group. And it's been absolutely insane. Usually lasts like 30 to 50 days, but it is insane. And so I'm always waiting for those times again. We sit and we wait for those times for years. For like a 50 to 60 day period of absolute insanity. Where the money being made is just hand over fist in these altcoins. So remember, there's still opportunity every day. Look at Crow doing damage. I like that. We're starting to merge with TradFi. You can see like regular news is being pushed. What they talk about on the finances is crypto now. The government's getting back in, regulation for stable coins. There's just so much going on. Stablecoins could grow to $34 trillion market, Arthur Hayes says. The blog said dollar-pegged stablecoins will reinforce U.S. monetary power and drive a wider adoption of decentralized finance globally. He concluded stablecoins signal a structural shift, bolstering U.S. debt markets and reshaping global monetary flows. Co-founder Bitman says dollar-pegged stablecoins could become a central tool for U.S. monetary policy, absorbing trillions in offshore deposits and reshaping global finance. Quickly, dollar-pegged stablecoin issue will face an influx of 10 to 13 trillion and subsequently purchase T-bills, he wrote. See that? So you're going to issue stablecoins. You're going to make money doing it. That's going to produce a lot of money, right? And then everyone wants them because they need to move money around the world. They're going to use those fees to purchase T-bills, right? Interesting. 21 trillion of T-bill buying power comes from retail deposits of the global South and European porians. Euro porians are funny. Total equals 34 trillion, Haynes wrote. It's interesting. It's a good idea. I mean, you see what he's saying, right? U.S. social media companies will be the Trojan horse that destroys the ability of foreign central banks to control the money supply of the plebes, he wrote, citing the example of WhatsApp integrating wallets. He tied the argument to broader geopolitical implications, stating Bessent will wield his sanctions cudgel widely and violently in order to make sure that the dollar-pegged stablecoins bring home capital sequestered in euro dollars, not U.S. retail banking deposits. Interesting. He concluded these dynamics point to a structural shift in how the U.S. debt is financed, with stablecoins underpinning both global demand for dollars and growth in decentralized finance applications. It makes sense. It makes sense. It's a pretty interesting thing to ponder about where we're going, right? Fed policy will send Bitcoin higher, says CNBC guest, right? We think this rally will continue, right? But again, that's sketchy, though, when CNBC gets bullish, right? I'm always a bit sketchy. And then Bitcoin miner Hut 8 to build 4 new sites, adding 1.5 gigawatt capacity. And the project spanning Louisiana, Texas, and Illinois will advance capacity under exclusivity into a newly introduced category called capacity under development. And that's going to be more mining in America. That's going to put us back at the forefront, too, there. It's a big deal, right? So, and last but not least, Aave launches Horizon, enabling institutions to borrow stablecoins against RWAs. I'm telling you right now, institutions, you see what's happening? Under the hood, the platform uses Chainlink Smart Data. Chainlink is going to be the biggest oracle for all of this stuff on the back end. I've been waiting for this to happen. No one has talked about it. I put 100 grand into Chainlink. I had this vibe for it. I waited so long. Chainlink is now one of the strongest coins in the game in the last few days. It went to that high of 27. It did rip back down. Let's take a look at what Chainlink is doing right now. A lot of people are interested in Chainlink. Older dinosaur coin. Why do people care, someone wonders. See this giant double bottom? Interesting. I'm going to tell you, look at Stellar Lumens too before we get out of here and show you what I see for Stellar. And this is why the learning is accelerated here. Shout out to the awesome people here on the channel. The 1,300 people still kicking it with the lifer. Let's get those likes up to 1,000. We were banging on 1,000 likes every single day back in May and April. Let's go. We slow down for the summer. When I met you in the summer. Hold on one second. My hand slipped. Let's take a look at Chainlink. Sorry. Know where I get that extra T. So Chainlink, I'm looking for the daily to bounce. I don't want to see right shoulder to shoulder. I want to see consolidation. But it does tell me we got big consolidation coming for the big boys, which means they're going to want to load up. Institutions like it. Give themselves a chance to get down, right? I feel like that broke out already. You're outside of the trend line, already kind of doing your own thing, really. And there's some previous supportive resistance right here. You can extend this trend line and say you're just getting tighter inside here too as well. Both of these are valid. I'm looking for sideways price action. Hopefully it lasts a little, not as long as September. But again, the rate hike, it tells me because money in Chainlink is going to be institutional mainly, right? Where's that money coming from when the rate hike? It's rate hike money. So this is why Chainlink looks like it's going to go sideways till the 17th or the 22nd of September, where that money starts to flow into the market. And then you can see the next leg for Chainlink is simply going to be this move. And Chainlink's going to head somewhere up to about $48 to $50. And I'm going to be selling Chainlink up there and moving on. and turning $100,000 into, well, about $500,000. And it had been taking me a while. All right. It's been taking me a while. So shout out to everybody that believes in Chainlink. I do. Even though it's old, it's dinosaur-esque. I feel like it's a safe play for 100 racks. I could be wrong. I'm not a financial advisor, but I put the money in a long time ago. It is now way above where I bought it, and I'm super happy to see where we could be going. So only time will tell with Chainlink, but I'm excited to ride this wave. So there you have it. Bitcoin sitting at about 11,800. We'll be watching it closely to see if there's more opportunity coming our way or not. I'm still inside a long here on BitNX, as you can clearly see. And I'm still inside a long on Ethereum that we gave earlier this morning in the trading room. I'll update you both on those guys. I'll also be scanning the market for altcoins that look interesting and setups that look hot. Now that Bitcoin is starting to show more bullishness, the altcoins could get a little bit of a pump, and it is Wednesday, my favorite day to trade. Everybody, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate each and every one of you for being awesome and being a part of an amazing live stream. It's been a great day. Thank you so much. Thank you to all the people that come through to the channel. Thank you for all the exchanges that, basically work with the lifer. God bless every single one of you that hang out on the live stream. May God bless each and every one of you for being here and being a part of the amazing live stream. I love you. I appreciate you. And I'll see you all tomorrow for an amazing, awesome live stream. May God bless you all. Stay positive. Stay amazing. I'm just focused on my trades right now. I'm not down, all right? Some people are like, because I'm usually like, yeah, but I'm focused on the trades. I want to see where we're going. I'm looking at Ethereum right now. I got a lot of buttons open. I got a lot going on, and I'm excited to see where the day could go. So God bless everybody here. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be live. I'll be back tomorrow for another amazing, awesome live stream. And thank you for 100,000 subscribers. May God bless you all. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless.